Okay. This is why I like doing stuff like pre-recorded, because I ain't got time for all of this. But here we go nonetheless, okay? All right, I'm just putting a title in on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you do that. My name on Instagram is @the_gospel_underground. So just in case you're not following me there, you should definitely do that. I post a lot of stuff there. So make sure you do that. But anyways, okay, so here we are. We're live on Facebook, live on Instagram. Hey, y'all. I really wanted to come on here and talk about what everybody's talking about right now, which is Kanye West taking over the gospel charts. And I really wasn't going to say anything about it because I just like to reserve my opinion for just me and my peoples, because everything does not need a response. But I felt like this was a really, really great opportunity to come on here and chat with you all, because looking at this whole situation, I've learned some things. Okay, so really quick, as you all can see, the title of this video is The Power of a Strong Brand, Kanye West in the gospel charts. So the timing for this could not be any better, because this past Sunday I shared a podcast entitled The Importance of Building Your Brand, and then we get the news on Monday, or whenever it was, I saw it on Monday, that Kanye had completely taken over the gospel charts. Like every single spot was Kanye West. Every single spot was Kanye West. So I've seen a lot of big name gospel artists get really, really upset about this. Some people are cool with it, some people don't care, but a lot of people are really pressed about it, really upset about it. And so I just kind of wanted to come on here and like share my 2 cents. I've shared with some other gospel folks, but not too much. But I wanted to come on here and really just share my 2 cents. Now, I don't personally listen to Kanye West. That's just not what I do. That's not a part of my daily living. So that's that on that. I cannot tell you how good or how bad his music is because I don't listen to it. But seeing him occupy every single spot on the gospel charts definitely made me feel like, wow, really? That's where we at nowadays? But I took a second to pause and think about it. And I thought about, how did he get there? Like, how in the world does a hip-hop rapper artist completely cover the gospel charts? How does that happen? Like, what went into making this happen? And it hit me like a ton of bricks. Girl, you've been talking about it this week. Kanye has an undeniable brand, okay? Whether you like him or whether you hate him, he has an undeniable brand. And so in this week's episode of the podcast, The Importance of Building Your Music Ministry's Brand, if you haven't listened to it, definitely go and do that. You can listen to it on all podcast platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, Audible, all of them. You can go and listen, so definitely take a listen. But in that podcast, I listed 4 reasons why it's important to build your music ministry's brand. And as I think about like Kanye and his star power, the strength of his brand, right? I see that he completely covers all 4 of these things. And so I'm just going to run through them real quick. If you want the detailed version of it, listen to that podcast, episode 8 of the Gospel Underground podcast. But really quickly, I just wanted to kind of run through them and just show you how he was able to do this. So the first thing is the first reason why it's important to build your music ministry's brand, because it gives you authority. It gives you authority. And 1 and 2 actually go together. It gives you authority, and 2 is it gives you credibility. People look at Kanye West as a musical genius, right? And so in their minds, he is an authority in the space of music. It does not matter what genre he's in. It does not matter at all what genre he's in. Because people look at him as a musical authority, they are going to listen to whatever he puts out. Number 2 is credibility. Now, because they look at him as a musical authority, they also feel like, oh, he's a credible source. I can believe him. But the other part of the credibility piece with Kanye is, before he even put out his own gospel album or whatever, he did collaborations with gospel artists. So his credibility not only came from people viewing him as a musical genius already, but it also came from, guess what? You. It came from you gospel artists that co-signed him. And you co-signing him said to the gospel world, said to believers, said to his followers that he is okay to do gospel music. All right. So I really want y'all to think about that, because I'm going to say something at the end that I want y'all to really consider. So I'm talking here about the power of a strong brand. If you haven't listened to episode 8 of the Gospel Underground podcast, I suggest that you do, because I give these 4 reasons. I've already given 2 so far, but I've given 4 reasons why it's important to build a strong brand, and honestly how Kanye was able to dominate the gospel charts because of his strong brand. So recap real quick. First of all, he's viewed as an authority. Building a strong brand gives you authority. And in the eyes and in the minds of so many people, they view him as a musical authority. Number 2, because of that authority, it gives him credibility. And also, he gained credibility by collaborating with other gospel artists. I'm going to just let that sit right there, because I'm going to say something at the end like I said. Okay. What am I at? Number 3. Because of his authority because of his authority and credibility as a musician, right? People expect him to do certain things. He has a brand that is known to do the unthinkable, right? He can come out of his face and say anything because that is his brand. He can come out of his face and wear anything because that's his brand. People know that they expect him. People expect the unexpected from Kanye, okay? So if today he says, I'm going to do a gospel artist, and then next week he says, you know what, I'm going to do a country western album. People expect that. They expect to be shocked. They expect to be surprised. Not just from him musically, but also fashion-wise, his views on political issues, in any area. He has a brand that is known for the unexpected, and he stays in your face by what's posted online, by the things that he says. So his customer retention, which is number 3, is extremely high, right? People love that shock value. They love that, oh my goodness, I don't know what to anticipate. And he has built his brand off of that. He's built his brand off of that shock value. So I remember for a while, like I said, I don't really listen to Kanye, but I mean, he's known for the unexpected. So people are always talking about him. So I hear things, right? So I remember for a while he had not put out any music, but people were still talking about him. They were still talking about him. He was saying crazy things, doing crazy things. No music to be found. No music to be found nowhere in sight. But his customer retention was extremely, extremely high. This is how he was able to dominate the gospel charts, because he knows what to do to get your attention. He has built his brand in a way that says, I don't care if I put out music in 12 years, they're going to listen when I put out something next, because that's the way he's built his brand. Okay, so that's number 3. And last but certainly not least, number 4 on why it's important to build a strong brand is because it will help your target audience find you. Now, I would venture to say that most of Kanye's listeners are probably not like born again believers, right? It's probably just, regular people that love rap, people that love hip hop. But because they love Kanye, because he has this authority as a musical genius, because he has built his credibility and earned the credibility of gospel artists, because he has such high customer retention, his target audience will follow him wherever he goes. So like I said earlier, he can go and do country western, he can go and do an R&B album, he can go and do mumble, he can do whatever he want to do. And his target audience is going to follow him because he has built such a strong brand. So again, if you have not listened to the full episode, episode number 8 of the Gospel Underground podcast, I certainly suggest that you do so, because I go into great detail about these 4 things, about the importance of building a strong brand. And honestly, when you build a brand as strong as Kanye's, you can do just about anything and dominate it. You can do just about anything and dominate in that new space. So I just want you all to really think about that, because sometimes as gospel artists, we focus heavily on the ministry, and there's nothing wrong with that. Please do not misquote me. There is absolutely nothing wrong with focusing on the ministry. But something that we need to understand is that a part of ministry, a part of serving God, and a part of serving God's people is being wise. The word of the Lord says, he that winneth souls is wise. And so what comes with wisdom? Strategy and intentionality. You need to really be strategic, and you really need to be really intentional about building your music ministry's brand. So gospel artists, instead of getting mad about secular artists or whoever coming over into our genre and quote unquote stealing, right, or stealing all the billboard spots, or stealing all of the awards, why don't we focus more on building our brand as gospel music ministers? What do people believe you for? Like, what is your reputation? What do people expect from you? Okay, ask yourself these questions. Are you an authority in your space? Are you? You know, can people flip through your social media pages and see consistency? Can they see that? And if not, that's something that we need to work on. So the last thing that I want to say that I really want y'all to think about, and this really was like the major thing with me in this whole Kanye thing, and I mentioned it a little bit earlier. Kanye got his credibility to do gospel music from gospel artists. When he was sampling your songs, when he was collaborating with you all, and you cheered him on, and you said, yes, I'm excited that he's using my music, yes, all this and all of that, you gave him the credibility for people to listen to his gospel album. You did. So you can't be mad that you've collaborated and co-signed this person when then all of a sudden their face and their name is on every spot on the Billboard chart. Who's really at fault here? Is it him or is it us? So I just really want us to take inventory on who we are, who we represent, come on, and what we are doing. Get clear on your music ministry's assignments. Get deeply invested in building your music ministry's brand so that you don't have to worry about this kind of stuff. I'm not concerned about Kanye on no gospel charts. I'm in my own lane, focusing on what God called me to do. And that was one, to do my music ministry. I already know what my assignment is. And for two, to teach you all how to build and grow an impactful gospel music ministry. So I pray that this live was a blessing to you. I didn't want to really spend too much time on it because it's not something to really pull your hair out about, but it's certainly a learning lesson. Kanye was able to take over the gospel charts because he has an undeniable brand with those 4 key components. So again, I pray that this blessed you. I hope that you enjoyed it. And yeah, let's talk again soon sometime. If you have not already, definitely make sure you subscribe to the Gospel Underground podcast. You can find it on all podcast platforms, whichever one is your favorite. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, Audible, all of them, they're all there. Also, I have an exclusive online community called The Passport, where I teach you and I also share with you my resources and my industry friends and their knowledge, all on how to continue to grow and build your gospel music ministry. As a matter of fact, tomorrow I'm going to be teaching inside the community how to build your music ministry's brand based on your assignment. So if you want to learn how to do this, how to begin to do this, jump in the community. It's free for 2 weeks, and then after that the investment is minimal. So I hope again that this blessed you guys, and I'll see you all soon. Take care.